everybody, it's Sharmel. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here with a tea talk video. If you are new to my channel, last year I started a series called Tea Talk, and it's just basically me chatting with you guys, discussing different topics and discussing things that I may be struggling with. I wanted to bring this series back to my channel because I did really enjoy doing it, and it's therapeutic for me. And then I also know that I've said this before, I want to be more than just a pretty face. It's more to life than just being cute and looking good. So today's topic, I'm going to be discussing overcoming self-doubt, living a fulfilling life, and doing the personal work. So we are now in the fourth quarter of 2019, and I feel like a lot of people are like feeling crazy because we have 2.5 months left in the year. It's almost 2020. We all set our goals at the beginning of the year. Some of us, we may have accomplished them, some of us we haven't, and it's like everyone's like trying to hurry and finish everything up before 2020 and make sure that they have their goals set for 2020. And I feel like it's a great time to do some reflecting and to just kind of refocus and get realigned. So self-doubt is something that I personally have struggled with, I think, a lot of my life. What I will say is that at different stages in my life, at different ages, it does kind of show up differently. So when I was younger, I was really shy. I grew up really shy and reserved, and as I've gotten older, I'm not really shy per se anymore, but I am still very reserved. But another thing that I've kind of noticed is that self-doubt has kind of manifested is manifested in practicality. So I am a very practical person, and sometimes when you're too practical, it can turn into cynical, and I'm not trying to get that far. And inherently, being practical, there's nothing wrong with being practical. Being practical allows me to be honest with myself, and it keeps all my ducks in a row. But what I will say is that practicality can hinder your faith. It will hinder your faith, and it hinders your creativity. And so it's like, I'm the type of person, it's like, if I don't see how it's gonna work out, if I can't see the steps through beforehand, then I'm just kind of like, I'm good. And the older I get, I realize that a lot of situations, the only way out is kind of through faith. You're gonna run into some times where the only thing you can do is operate by faith and see what happens. Because I'm practical, sometimes I need tangible things to help me out. So I came up with a list of tangible items that you can implement into your life to kind of help you out. So the first step, I'm not a professional, and I want to make that very clear. I can give my opinion and my advice on certain things, but if you are truly struggling with something, I recommend seeking out professional help, whether it's counseling, therapy, those kind of things. So me personally, the end of last year and the beginning of this year, I did start going to therapy for a couple of months. It was very helpful. Therapy is becoming more acceptable within our community, so a lot more people are starting to go. And even if you feel like you don't have any real like traumatic experiences or problems, I still recommend going. For me personally, like, the main reason I went is because I was having a lot of feelings of unfulfillment. I was just not happy overall, and I knew there was more, and I just needed a safe space where I could express that. A lot of us, especially Black women, we are great at code switching. So my life is kind of spread out in all these different areas, and it's like in each setting, like at work I have to be the Sharmel that they want me to be. With my family, I have to be this Sharmel. At church, I have to be this Sharmel. And so essentially I had all these moving pieces where I felt like I had to constantly be a different person, and then the person who I really wanted to be was just getting more and more suppressed. And so yeah, therapy was just an outlet to where I could kind of let out my emotions. And a lot of the things that we talked about, like, I already knew, but I guess I just needed reinforcement in hearing it from somebody else, like an unbiased person. And my therapist told me that, like, I was a very responsible person, and she was like, that is a good thing, but I needed to work on more gratitude. So yeah, like, I would get anxiety about all these things that I had to do and to take care of, and you know, you get lost in that, and I just needed to take a step back and just practice more gratitude and be thankful for the things that I do have. So yeah, step 1, seek professional help if you have the means to do so. And speaking of gratitude, my next step 2 is going to be taking inventory of your personal success, your blessings, all of that. Seen something online and it said, let go of what you think your life is supposed to look like and celebrate it for everything that it is. So we all have these big goals and dreams and these visions on how we see ourselves living, and that we feel like until we reach that level, our life is just kind of like meaningless, or you know, it's immeasurable until we meet that, and we don't really appreciate our life for what it is in the moment. And sometimes you just have to sit back and just be thankful, like literally write out a list of all the positive things that are going on in your life. You know, even I know it's so cliche, like, oh, I woke up with breath in my body, you know, my vision's not perfect, but I can put on my glasses, you know, things like that. I'm gaining weight, that means that I ain't missing no meals, and if I'm not missing any meals, that means that I'm doing okay. Literally keep an inventory list of all those things, and once you constantly go through that list, you're like, you know what, it's not that bad, it's not that bad, well, this is going good. I work 9 to 5, I'm not living the influencer lifestyle, but I was able to take a few vacations this year. One of my goals at the top of the year was to pay all my bills on time in full. I can say that I have done that. We're in the 10th month of the year. I have done that. These past 10 months, my bills have been paid on time in full every month. No late payments, no half payments. So I had to start like thinking about life like that. I may not be at the place that I want to be at yet, but I'm doing okay. Step 3. So this is something that I'm really working on, and it's to stop downplaying your gifts. So we are all gifted and graced in different areas, and it's crazy because those things that we're gifted in are the same things that make us prosperous, but a lot of us just aren't operating in that grace. And for me personally, like, I have a lot of gifts and talents, and they're things that I don't even discuss with anybody because I'm scared or I'm shy, like that little shy Sharmel, that reserved Sharmel, that self-doubt kind of stops me from really mastering my gifts. And so I feel like the first step in mastering your gifts is to stop downplaying them and acknowledge the things that you're good at. And it doesn't have to, you can still do it humbly, you don't have to brag about it, but you can say, hey, I'm good at this. And a lot of us also feel like because we don't have these big grand gifts, like, but literally anything that you are effortlessly good at is a gift. For me, like, I remember at my previous job, I was always chosen to train people, and everybody who I trained, they were like, you know, you're really helpful. So through that experience, I just kind of learned that I'm a naturally good teacher. Training is something that I'm good at, and so I'm learning how to take those little things and master them and use those to create the life that I want to live, or to create the job, or to find the things that I want to do. Once you know what you're good at, you know, you have a better understanding of your purpose, and then you can find ways to navigate this world and live out your purpose. Like, some of my most successful moments were when I didn't try and I was just being. So like, my most popular video here on my channel, it's the triangle, the rubber band triangle part, box braid video. Like when I was filming that video, I was not thinking like, oh, I'm about to kill him with this video. I was literally just trying a new hairstyle, and it worked out. And I look at it and I be cringing because it's like, this tutorial wasn't even that good, but because I wasn't trying and I just was being who I am, it was able to reach a bigger audience. Really operate in that grace and the things that you're naturally good at, where you don't even have to try. And once you start doing that and learning how to master that, y'all, blessings will just start coming to you. So the next step, again, these are tangible steps. I'm going to try to remember to link these different things down in the description box so that you can write them out yourself. Step 4 is identifying your fears and triggers. So this is a good exercise that I actually heard on a podcast. So the first thing you want to do is actually write out your fears. So write out all the things that you fear. So for example, I'll give you one of mine. One of my fears is failure. So write out your fear. And then the next thing you do is write an affirmation for that fear. So my affirmation for failure is, I act with confidence and having a general plan, and I accept that plans are open to alteration. And after you write your affirmation for your fear, the next thing you want to do is write an affirmation plan. So they're basically action items. So write an affirmation plan for that affirmation. So acting with confidence in my general plan and being open to alteration. So, and this is for failure. So my plan is to properly plan. A lot of times we fail because we don't take the time and the necessary steps to write out everything or go through all possible outcomes for our plan. So if you properly plan, you can prevent a lot of failure. The next part to my plan is to operate in faith. So after I properly plan, I have to have confidence in the things that I planned out for myself, and I'm going to act out my plan with full faith and with full confidence that it's going to go through properly. Another part of my plan is to stop second guessing myself. I write out something and I'm confident in what I write out. I'm not going to second guess that, and I'm going to allow the plan to see itself through. And so these are my plans to helping me deal with the fear of failure. So I hope that makes sense. So you acknowledge your fear, you write out an affirmation for your fear, and then you write out an affirmation plan for your fear. I think this is step 5. So, and it's going to be my last step because I don't want this video to be too long. But step 5 is to use the fruit of the Spirit as a measuring stick. If you guys don't know what the fruit of the Spirit is, in Galatians 5:22, it's 5:22 through 23. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Any situation that I'm in, I try to compare it to one of those fruits of the Spirit. So if I'm in a situation that I'm uncertain about, does this situation bring me love? Am I practicing gentleness in this situation? Am I practicing self-control in this situation? Once you start to look at your situations like that, it's easier to work through it. It allows you to just kind of step back and breathe and really assess the situation and assess it logically. Is that how you say it? Yeah. Piggybacking off of using the fruits of the Spirit as a measuring stick, one thing that I've been working on for like the past month, I heard someone say, make everywhere you go an experience of love. And when you think about love, love is a positive emotion. Love is comforting. It's cuddly. Like when you think about what love is, when you think about who love is, it's just always an inviting space and environment. And so when I'm stressed out or when I'm sad, I try to think like, how can I make this a more comforting environment? How can I make this a safe space? How can I project that safety? How can I project that comfort into this situation? Instantly turns it into a positive, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, these are just my thoughts and things that I have been doing to help me overcome some of the self-doubt in my life, and you know, just again living a more fulfilling life. And it boils down to doing the personal work. Like me personally, I love to listen to podcasts. I watch a lot of sermons. Even if you go to therapy, like they're going to tell you a lot of good, all these things will tell you a lot of good things, but until you start doing the personal work yourself and actually implementing them into your daily routine, your daily lifestyle, it's meaningless. So you have to do the personal work, and it's nonstop. I used to kind of feel like, oh, once I learn these things and once I do them one time, then like I'm good, I'm cured, I'm better. But no, you literally have to make it a part of your daily life, your daily routine. Like, it's nonstop. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Again, this is another Tea Talk video. I have more topics coming. I'll leave my email address down below if you guys want to submit questions or you have topics that you would like me to talk about. Don't forget to like this video if you'd like to see more. Follow me on all of my social media platforms per usual. They're all listed down below. Don't forget to subscribe if this is your first time here. And again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.